Alright, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here? As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title under the thumbnail. Yeah, man, today's video is dealing with your boy Quavo. And how Quavo, he finally reveals the truth based around the reason why J.Prince had an issue with Offset. And yes, it's primarily dealing with the reason why Offset didn't want to attend Jazz private B-Day function in H-Town. See, the thing that a lot of people don't know is J.Prince, he's been trying to get Offset to come out to H-Town on a few occasions, but Offset, he would deny those invites and do his own thing. And that's what caused J.Prince to have an issue with Offset, because he felt like Offset was being disrespectful by not coming out to these events that he would put together for his artists or his sons. See, most of the time that J.Prince would invite out the Migos to come to these events, the only ones that would show up is Quavo and TakeOff. 98% of the time, Quavo would show up. We already know the reason why TakeOff showed up, because it's Uncle Quavo. Other than that, TakeOff had no reason to be around J.Prince Jr. Mobties. Man, let's be real. Y'all don't even see Drake around J.Prince Jr. Mobties like that. And he got a venture deal with them. So why would J.Prince expect for Offset to be around them like that? See, in Quavo, he was around them like that because he was tight with J.Prince's brother Jazz. They've been tight for years, ever since the Migos came in the game. Because it was Jazz who hooked up Drake with the Migos to do the song Versace. So based on that, that's the reason why Quavo and Jazz's relationship is so tight. Because they made a bag together, a big bag, and that's real. But again, Offset, he never felt the same way with being associated to J.Prince Jr. Mobties. He never really cared. And it's probably because the same time that Quavo and Jazz was getting tight was around the same time that Offset was back and forth out of prison. So again, every time that J.Prince will send out an invite for the Migos to show up to these events, Offset would be the only one who wouldn't show up. Now, the time that he did show up a couple years back, he had an issue with Walka TSF members where they tried to run up on Offset. And the thing is, J.Prince say he's the one who aided and assisted Offset to make sure that he ain't get no pressure put on him from Walka TSF members. But that's not true. It was actually Trey the Truth who came out to assist Offset when he had that issue. And y'all already know that Trey the Truth, he's one of J.Prince's artists whom is under rap a lot. You understand? So when Trey the Truth let J.Prince know that Offset had an issue with Walka TSF members, J.Prince, he made it seem like he was the one who assisted Offset, when again, it was actually Trey the Truth. So when J.Prince put it out there that he assisted Offset when he had that issue with Walka TSF members, Offset knew that wasn't true. Offset knew it was Trey the Truth who actually stood up for him. You understand? And matter of fact, when J.Prince rubbed it in Offset's face, it made him feel some type of way. Because he like, hey man, even if I did call you because I had a problem in Houston, you supposed to aid and assist me with no issue, without no problem. Why you throwing it in my face because I was outnumbered being in a whole different state? You know that's gonna happen. Similar to the times that J.Prince Jr. pulled up to ATL and he got robbed. And I noticed. So what I look like rubbing it in his face because I looked out for him, because I knew he was outnumbered being in a whole different state, in a whole different area, which he don't know too many people. But I do. So the people I call upon, they gonna be willing to look out for you with no problem. And that's what Offset is speaking on. He say, J.Prince, you supposed to be the older, wiser, mature guy, but your thoughts are just as reckless as your sons. Especially when you putting it out there that you wish it was Migos Benz who got hit with the shells instead of TakeOff. Again, y'all gotta understand, Offset, he knows Migos Benz family, man. Similar to CEO Pia and Coach K. So when they heard J.Prince say that, they like, hey man, you going too far now, my G. Now we understand that you had a small back and forth with Offset. We don't know where it came from. But now when you get to wishing that somebody got sent up, that's just bogus, man. See, with that, I don't think that J.Prince understands the magnitude of what he said. Let's say if Migos Benz did get hit with the shells, the situation would have still been the same. There will still be folks out there questioning what's happening at these private events that's getting these young black men sent up. So with that, let's pay our respects and say rest in peace to TakeOff, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in the ATL. TakeOff brother YRN Lingo, you will soon get justice for TakeOff untimely demise. Soon as J.Prince Jr. Mobties tell what actually happened at that private event and who really upped the burner. So with J.Prince saying he wished that it was Migos Benz who got hit with the shells instead of TakeOff, again, I don't think J.Prince understands the outcome of the situation would have still been the same. There still would have been people out there questioning the Mobties activities and what's going on at these private events. And at the same time, what is the pops J.Prince doing to make the situation better? And that's what Offset is speaking on. That's the reason why Offset didn't show up to Jazz private B-Day function in H-Town. Because again, Offset, he never clicked with those guys like that. TakeOff didn't either, man. Not like Quavo. I'm trying to tell y'all, Offset even knows that TakeOff, he wouldn't have been at that private event if it wasn't for Quavo, man. Because Quavo has a tight relationship with Jazz. And that's something that the pops J.Prince stated himself, that Jazz and Quavo was tight. That's the reason why J.Prince treats Quavo like it's his son. Not TakeOff or Offset. But again, that's the reason why J.Prince has an issue with Offset. Because that was his son's private B-Day function and he wanted the Migos to be a special guest appearance. But J.Prince felt like Offset threw that all off. So when J.Prince decided to go at Offset in that interview, this was all built up from years ago, man. But Offset would never show up to these events to give J.Prince that chance to have anything to say to him. But I'm in agreement with Offset and Coach K. When they told J.Prince, hey man, you've been knowing us for years. You ain't had to go in that interview letting the world know that you had an issue with Offset, especially when Offset never came at you or your sons, knowing he really has a reason to. But again, back to this video, bringing it all in. That's the whole reason why J.Prince had an issue with Offset, because Offset never cared to come to J.Prince's son's private B-Day function. So J.Prince felt like, hey, I invited you out, you didn't come. I felt like you was disrespecting me. J.Prince is like, hey man, I invited you out to come to my son's event. And this is not the first time you didn't show up. So I felt like that's a slap in the face. I felt like you purposely disrespected me. Well, maybe Offset really never felt that way. He just never really trusted J.Prince enough to go. That's what J.Prince was basically saying in that interview that he did with Wallow and Gilly. But again, a lot of folks were still trying to understand, where did this all come from? I just told y'all, man, that J.Prince, he was upset that Offset didn't show up to Jazz private B-Day function with Quavo and TakeOff. Yeah, G, your boy Quavo then revealed the truth around the reason why J.Prince had an issue with Offset. And yeah, we already knew that it had something to do with TakeOff untimely demise being invited out to J.Prince Jr. brother Jazz private event, where Offset, he didn't show up. And that's the reason why J.Prince had an issue with Offset, because J.Prince, he didn't invite out Offset numerous of times to these events, and Offset, he would never attend. Matter of fact, the last time Offset attended an event that J.Prince had put together is the same time that Walka TSF members approached Offset on some goofy activity, where they tried to rob Offset for his cash and his jewelry. And then when Offset informed J.Prince about the issue that he had with Walka TSF members, instead of J.Prince properly aid and assisting Offset, he rubbed it in his face. And like folks told y'all, man, it was really Trey the Truth who assisted Offset when he had that issue with Walka TSF members. It was never J.Prince. That's where a lot of people is losing respect for J.Prince, because he's always trying to make himself bigger than everybody around him, when at the same time he has needed the assistance from everybody around him to become who he is. J.Prince, he felt disrespected when Offset would never attend these events that he put together. See, I'm with folks, man. We need better communicational skills when it comes to black men, because we shouldn't always be at odds based on the difference in opinions. But in order to properly communicate with one another, at the same time, we have to share a mutual respect for one another. If we don't view things the same, you understand? Like, if I view something differently than what you do, we shouldn't go at one another, you understand? Especially if we're not disrespecting one another's family. Going back, that's the reason why a lot of folks felt the way they felt towards J.Prince, because he did go at Offset's family by speaking on Cardi B, by speaking on his relationship with TakeOff. Come on, man, that's bogus. But J.Prince, he need to sit back and think the type of aura that he put out there on social media once he went at Offset. And always understand that communication is key. You feel me? That's what it is. But hey, we get more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.